Hey, Martina here. Today I'd like to focus on Yana's newest collection with Spellbinders. This is Festive Poinsettias. I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. I have been working with the Better Press plate and the matching stencils, the sentiments, and of course the 3D embossing folder. And I thought it would be fun to talk you through my makes with the products, and after that I would like to show you my favorite technique in real time, so stay tuned. The first cards are like classical Better Press and stencil cards. I have been using white cardstock and colored cardstock as a base, and I've then been just working with dye inks for the better pressing as well as the stenciling. The sentiments are just black better press ink on a white cardstock, so they stand out nicely. And I couldn't say which card is my favorite because I think each one of them is a beauty of their own. Here I even added some splatters. I think that is a nice fun detail. Could be snow. So that's the classical Better Press stenciling cards. I then had a play with the 3D embossing folder. And this is like just plain 3D embossing folder, white splatters, and then a sentiment on a piece of vellum. This is a colored cardstock, some dye ink in the pressing, and then I colored a white piece of cardstock with the same ink I used to press the 3D embossing folder. And now we're getting to the playful parts. And this is the 3D embossing folder, and I don't know, I'm sure somebody has done this before, but this is super new to me, so I am super excited. I have been using white acrylic paint on the 3D embossing folder, and this is like the positive and the negative part, added with white ink. And to me it looks very, like wallpaper, and a little bit dramatic, I think. And I think my favorite technique is where I just added the white acrylic paint to the raised areas, which is nice because it also keeps the 3D embossing folder nice and clean, because when I've been using the wallpaper technique, I've been using white acrylic paint. You can still see some residue, but I mean, I don't mind, on the folder, so you get it into the negative space. But if you're just using the positive space, the raised areas, you will be working super neatly. So let's give it a try. I have 2 pieces of craft colored cardstock, and I already sent them through my Spellbinders Platinum, and now it should be clear. I usually use a spray of water on both sides of the cardstock before I'm sending this through the machine, so the cardstock is bending and not breaking around the shapes. And now it's really super easy. I have a very old and very loved gel press plate, and this is just white acrylic paint. It's a nice one, and it is opaque. That's important for the technique. And I'm then just using a brayer, and it's super handy to use the gel plate to add or apply the color to the brayer, because it allows you to see if you have a nice coverage. And then you just go over your 3D embossed paper. You see, it's such a thin layer of color that my fingers stay almost clean, and I can go back and forth and over it as much as I want to. And I can then apply a little bit more of the color to create a second panel, because I want to mount one panel onto a white piece of cardstock to have a very clean and crisp result, and I want to try it also on one of these new gold papers and just mat it with a gold, with a satin finish, and maybe even add some splatters. I think that could look very nice and festive. And that's it. I mean, it can't get any faster, I think. And I really have to say, I absolutely love the view. I will be using some gold splatters on that one. Just give me a second. I have to activate the paint and find a brush. I'm using a small brush and I'm just adding some splatters to the background using a bone folder, but it could be whatever to create the splatters. I hope you can see them, but you will see them even more when they are dry. I will set everything aside to dry. I will glue them to a card base, add some of the sentiments. I've been using the Better Press and some embossing ink, and I have to say I absolutely love the result with white embossing powder. And I will just add them to my projects, and I will share my finished projects in a second. And here we are. These are the finished cards. It really took just the drying time of the splatters and a quick assembly with some 3D foam and double-sided adhesive tape. And I think this technique is just fabulous, and I can't wait to give it a try with all my other 3D embossing folders. I really hope you liked my walkthrough and that quick technique tutorial. I will link all my supplies below and wish you an amazing day. See you next time. Bye.